Okay, so let's talk about these two options for a minute. The first was, could you give Peter an antibiotic? Would that have helped? So let's say it was a virus that caused the diabetes. So he was exposed to some kind of virus right here, right? And that caused his body to start making these antibodies. Had we given him an antibiotic, would it have stopped that process? Well, hopefully you said no, of course not, because viruses don't respond to antibiotics, right? So an antibiotic is not going to help him. Maybe an antiviral would have, but not an antibiotic. Okay, but the second one says, what if we'd given him a vaccine? So this is sort of a tricky one. So let's say we had given him a vaccine for this. Now, it's possible if the vaccine, and let me add another color, if the vaccine had included this pointy portion, right, of the antigen, then it would have prompted the production of that same antibody, right? So in fact, it could, in this potential special case with the genetics that Peter has, it could potentially lead to the antibody that causes autoimmunity. But what if we made this particular vaccine right here, and Peter's body made an antibody that fit this flat side, right? And not one of the corners. If Peter's body had made the flat antibody, then it would not have attacked the pancreas. So in that case, we may have gotten immunity with a different antibody, which could have prevented the diabetes. So really in this case, it's really hard to know whether the vaccine we give is going to prompt the particular antibody that we don't want, or prompt a good antibody that could prevent that future antibody from being produced. So I would say the better bet is to go ahead and vaccinate, because getting the disease itself is even worse. But a lot of times, and what scientists suspect, is the particular virus that causes diabetes is not necessarily one that's common that we vaccinate for, right? It's one that just is a fluke that happens. So really this isn't usually an issue in healthcare, because we're not really vaccinating against the particular viruses that tend to prompt diabetes.